Teaching to the Test Pattern.
Hey, buddy. Welcome to Teaching to the Test Pattern. Today, we're going to talk about virtual learning, and I don't have all the answers. As a matter of fact, I don't have most of the answers. I'm not doing virtual learning right now, but that could change at any moment, and I've prepared for that. And on this episode, I'm going to tell you how I've prepared for that and kind of some of the stuff that I've done and stuff that I'm doing to prepare for it that is a little over the top right now, but could come in handy as the world turns and as times change. Who knows what I could be facing in the coming weeks. But I do want to take a moment and thank my sponsor, Amatrace, AMITRACE.com. Last episode, I talked about the TriCaster Mini 4K. It's ridiculous. I mean, it really is. Total NDI workflow. $8,000. It comes with 2 Spark modules, so you can hook it up to any camera on your network, or you can run a hard line, a hard Cat 5 cable. It's crazy ridiculous. It's got 4 monitor outs, so you can do different multi views. You can do a ton of stuff with it, and it's ridiculous. I mean, it really is. Well, how much it's come along, how much the TriCaster's come along in the last 10 years, and how much the price has come down. Again, $79.95 is the retail price on that. I don't know what your budget is, but I don't know that you're going to find something that does as much for as little. So check it out. The TriCaster Mini 4K, $79.95, again, is the retail price on the Amatrace site. I don't know if that's gone up or down since they updated the site, but it's cool. I mean, live panel. I mean, you name it, it's got it. It's got media players. It's got recorders. You can stream to multiple places. You can ingest SRT, which you may not even know what SRT is, but it's really cool. Tons and tons of really cool stuff. The macros. Listen, so I've got one that I'm using, and I'm doing a demo on it. And I set macros. So what a macro is it's a bunch of steps in the process that help you do things. So for example, right now, my intro to news kids are learning how to do a news show. And one of the things that I just got tired of saying was put ME4 in program, put camera 1 in preview, take the graphics off the screen, go to the audio mixer, turn it down. Now go to the sounds, hit play. Now bring the audio mixer up slowly and reset the clock. So I went in and created a macro. So now if you hit P on the keyboard that's attached to my TriCaster, it does all of those things automatically, no questions asked. It's awesome. Well, then I got tired of going, okay, well, we're going to do a quick intro, then we're going to go to DDR1 for our recorded open, and da-da-da-da. So same thing. So P for us is pre-show, G is go. And that puts camera 1 as hot, that cues the DDR, that fades the music down, that stops the music, and it puts the graphics up. 1 keystroke. That's what a macro is. Super easy to do with the TriCaster. Once you get to thinking about it, you're going to lose sleep if you have one. I admit that I have, and it's a good thing and a bad thing. But definitely check it out. Check it out from my friends at Amatrace, AMITRACE.com. I could not do this podcast without them. They have been such a blessing for me. So definitely check them out, AMITRACE.com.
This is Teaching to the Test Pattern.
So before we get started, let me give you a little bit of background on where I teach and kind of the community that I teach in. So I teach between Atlanta and Augusta, Georgia. And it's not hyperbole that I literally drive through cotton fields to get to work. Our community has the Cotton Gin Festival in late fall every year when the cotton is ripe, grown, matured. We'll call it matured. When the cotton's matured, they have the Cotton Gin Festival, which is huge for our community. So we don't have good internet out there. It was a shock to me how bad the internet was outside of just the little circle of my awareness in the community. So virtual was a challenge for me in the spring. We went back to school August the 6th. So I've had 7 class days with my students. We have had a couple of students come down with coronavirus. We've had a couple of teachers come down with coronavirus. For us, the students, I mean, it's not that the students aren't going to matter, but the students aren't what's going to get our school closed. It's going to be educators. But overall, it's been pretty good. And I know that I've been blessed because my system made a huge effort. My community made a huge effort to get kids back in school, keep us safe, and try to get things back to as normal as possible. Are the kids scared? Yeah, some of them are. I mean, I had a conversation with a young lady last week, and she was questioning about my news show and why we don't do more coronavirus coverage. And I just told her, I said, honey, you can get that anywhere. She didn't really appreciate that, but I told her, I know it didn't make her feel better, but I told her that, I don't want to, let me tangent for a moment. I don't want my students to be the face of bad news. I don't want my students, especially in a divided time like we're in right now, where you have mask and anti-mask. I don't want my kids being that face. So we don't avoid it. We just don't cover it. You can find that anywhere. We run a minute news clip that's actual legit adult news. They talk about it in there. So I don't. That doesn't help that student feel better about local situation, but can't really help with that. So we've been in school. And the hard part about getting ready for this semester was, what does the semester look like? Are we going to be in school 90 days, which is our semester length? Are we going to be in school 10 days? I'll be perfectly transparent with you. I am still in the 3-week pool of how long we'll actually be in school face-to-face. But that said, I've had so far 7 days to get buy-in from my students, which has been awesome. It's been amazing. I literally, in terms of the first 7 days of school, I've never had a better first 7 days of school. Ever. Nothing close. So I'm super excited. The kids, I've got buy-in. Why does that matter? At any given moment, I could get an email that says we're shut down. And for however long. I mean, it could be 2 weeks, it could be 2 months, it could be the semester. I don't know. So in my planning for this semester, I took the time and planned 3 of everything. Literally, I have a plan for virtual or face-to-face, which is my prayer and my hope. I have a plan for virtual, and I have a plan for pencil paper, because virtual is not going to work for a lot of my students. So what I've done, and what I'm actively doing now, and I haven't done it as much as I need to, is I have just completely sold out and bought in on teaching flipped. So starting this week, my students are going to get every night a video to watch, and then they're going to come in and we're going to talk about it for maybe 5 minutes, and then we're going to do work. And that way I'm building the habit. For those that have internet, and I only have, of my 60-ish students, I only have 4 who said they have no internet. The rest, I've had a couple who said they have very bad internet, but they can still watch YouTube videos, which is all I need. So I'm already in the process of just building a bank of content to push out to these students to teach them things. And these videos are 10 to 15 minutes at most. I found I've done the flip thing before. I loved it. The culture of the school kind of transformed prior. It's a different school than where I am now, transformed to where it didn't work. So the way a flipped classroom works, for those, if you don't know, is I teach via video. The students watch the video at home or prior to class, and they come to class and we do the exercise. It's kind of the example that I use is in math class, your math teacher teaches the entire time and then sends you home to do homework. Well, you get home and you don't remember every word they said, so you're going to be lost. Well, if I flip that, they're getting the content at home, and then they come in and we practice it, where I, as the quote unquote expert, can help them understand deeper. And what I'm excited about, what I saw in my previous attempts was that definitely there was a deeper understanding of the concepts when it was flipped, because they got the experience. They also got the ability to lean on me anytime. I mean, if they were confused, they could watch it at home again and again, and they would come to class and they would have me there to answer those questions. So that's what I'm doing. Now, when I tell people that, they go, well, I mean, the kids aren't going to watch the videos. Oh, yes, they will, my friend. I'm using a software called, it's not even a software, it's a website called PlayPosit. And I will tell you, they're not paying me for this. I asked them to, but they didn't. I'm just playing. I did ask them if they wanted me to do a review, and they didn't get back to me. So I'm going to review it all the same. There's other options. I don't know what they are. I found PlayPosit first, so they're Kleenex to me. They're the name brand. But what it is you post content to their site, and you create what are called bulbs. And a bulb is it's a video or audio or something with content where you can measure how much the student consumes, so the length of the video. You can post questions, you can post fill in the blank or multiple guess or long form. Any of those things, you can post all of that interactively with the video. And the great thing is you can place it throughout, and if they get the video wrong or the answer wrong, they can go back and get the answer. They can't skip forward if you said it that way. They can't rewind if you said it that way. It's really, really cool. I will admit it was $150 for the year, but I have gotten that already in spades in some of the professional development stuff that I've done. It's been fantastic. It partners with Google Classroom, so you can build classes in PlayPosit that match your Google Classroom. You literally just pair them up, and it gets all the information from the Google Classroom stuff, and you're good to go. It's not a lot of setup, and it's really, really quite easy. That's what I'm going to do. That's if they email me and say, hey, we're shutting down for a couple of weeks, it's not going to be different for my kids. And that's something that I think is super important as we kind of navigate what's going on in the world. Is if you're in a hybrid situation where you're going back and forth. So there's a county local to us where the kids are with the teachers for 2 days, and then they're home for 3 days. What a great tool to use. You can teach them those 3 days via video content, give them quizzes, give them that kind of stuff. But then on those 2 days they're with you, you can produce, or, vice versa, what have you. But definitely check that out. And, the accountability piece is tough, but I know here in the state of Georgia, one of our biggest, I think the first 4 standards, maybe the first 3 standards in our video production standards at the state level are professionalism. And it's about being prepared for work, and it's about communicating, and it's about all the things that if you have a flipped classroom like this that you can do. So definitely check that out. Think about that. If you're in a situation where you are face to face, or you're virtual, or you're pencil paper's tough, but you already have the videos. Dump them on a flash drive. Give the kids some worksheets. Have them fill out the worksheets. You can do the same stuff minus the video editing on pencil and paper. But again, I can get into deep philosophical debates on what our role as video production teachers are, is or are. Sorry, confusing myself. What our role is, I don't know. We could get into a deep debate on what our real role is versus what some people have made it out to be. But if you need anything, don't hesitate to reach out. Join my Facebook page, Teaching to the Test Pattern on Facebook. I will respond as quickly as I can. Life gets crazy sometimes, teacher, father, husband. But again, thank you so much for listening. Make sure you go check out the TriCaster Mini 4K if you haven't already. And if you haven't, go to Amatrace, AMITRACE.com. Those guys will take care of you. They're not really salespeople. They're more workflow specialists. Yeah, that's what they are. Workflow specialists. You tell them what you want to do, they'll find a way to make it happen. Thank you again for listening. And again, please don't hesitate to reach out. There's nothing that I have that is secret, because I probably stole it from someone else. Have a great day. And as always, go make some awesome.
Teaching to the Test Pattern.